Your leadership style might be holding your team back. Today, I'm going to share 10 habits that transform bad leadership into inspiring leadership. At SWYFT Solutions, we've seen year-over-year growth, and I've realized early on that focusing on both myself as well as my team was essential. Pay close attention to each habit as they will change the way you show up each day. But make sure that you pay close attention to habit number 8, because this one is my favorite, and I firmly believe that this will have the most impact on you and your leadership. So habit number 1, lead yourself first. Now this is a twist on what you might first think, but leadership starts with leading yourself. If you're not well rested, healthy, and in control of your own emotions, your team will see it immediately. This is why personal wellness is crucial for earning respect and trust from your team. Do you firmly believe that you are doing the right things outside of your interactions with your team that really allow you to be the type of person that actually someone should respect? One practical tip is maybe just wake up 30 minutes early each day with intentional planning and reflection time. Another is to adopt a balanced diet. Focus on that energy-giving food and hydration. You know, that stuff that really makes you feel good. This helps you show up and give your best every day with the energy that is required for your team. It's also helpful to commit to a structured workout routine and be consistent with it, such as maybe a 30-minute strength training every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This really helps reduce that stress. Personally, I've also seen the impact of working with coaches who hold me accountable to some of these regimens and routines. By dedicating time to grow, I'm able to show up better for my team, handle challenges calmly, and lead without that, imposter syndrome that we all know. Remember that prioritizing your well-being sets the tone for your organization, and it paves the way for a healthier, more motivated environment. So habit number 2, clearly communicate the vision and the why. It is a habit as a leader that we all need to become borderline predictable with. People need to be reminded of the deeper purpose behind their work. They don't need to be told just kind of like tactics of this is how to write this email, this is what to do, this is an instructional how-to. They need to know the why behind what they're doing. But by beginning each and every meeting, each and every conversation, reminding the team of the big picture and the company's mission. You need to give your team direction beyond just those daily tasks. Encourage them to ask why so that they can see precisely how their efforts align with the broader organizational goals, and then they can stay motivated during some of those challenging moments when you're not actually around. When you hold yourself to a high standard of performance and integrity, you really set an example for what you expect from others. You can't ask your team to honor a standard that you aren't honoring yourself. This level of consistency and transparency ensures that everyone stays on the same page. As a leader, you need to give the people you are leading clarity around the filters that they need to use in their mind when they're making decisions. These are the things that they're going to take with you when you're not around. You do not want to create a culture where they need you to answer every single question because they are not clear on what the vision or maybe the reason that you're making certain decisions are. That needs to change. Being consistent and showing up on time is the third habit that you need to adopt to stop being a bad leader. Consistency builds trust. Your team needs to see that you live by the same exact standards or even higher the standards than you expect out of them. One simple way to demonstrate this is to always arrive early for appointments. If your meeting starts at 9 a.m., be there by 8:55. Vince Lombardi famously said, if you're 5 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. Scheduling agendas and sending out follow-ups on a regular cadence also shows your team that you value their time and their contributions to the greater good. This is another powerful tactic. So start tracking your daily habits in a planner or a digital checklist. This also helps you keep yourself accountable and ensure that nothing falls through the cracks. Now, this same principle applies to project deadlines, performance reviews, and other interactions that you have with your team. This really enforces a culture of reliability and accountability, two things that are key in leadership. I know that my team notices if I'm consistently prepared and punctual or not, and it really sets the tone for everyone else to follow in the organization. Consistency over time is a simple way to be clear that you are serious about your commitments, which encourage the team to do the exact same. So habit number 4 is to get intentional with growing other leaders. Look, transactional leadership focuses on tasks and checklists, but transformational leadership is a completely different level, and that focuses on developing people and their independence. By shifting your approach, you actually empower your team members to think creatively and take ownership of their roles instead of just giving directions and orders. You're asking guiding questions that encourage critical thinking. Provide the resources and the training necessary for them to discover the solution on their own so that they can build that confidence and become more self-sufficient. Teaching is actually one of the best ways to learn, really, because you can help equip others to become leaders. And with that, you raise your own standards in the process. Your team will look to you for the next area that they can grow, which motivates you to keep improving and staying one step ahead. You're pushing yourself to improve and stay ahead every single day. I remember when I first transitioned from being a purely task-focused manager to becoming a resource provider. Rather than telling my team exactly what to do, I started coaching them to identify problems, propose solutions, and make informed decisions on their own. This was intentional so that they can gain more independence, and I've really noticed that my leadership style has evolved as well because I needed to continually stretch myself to guide them effectively. By cultivating new leaders, you create a ripple effect of excellence throughout your entire organization. Habit number 5, practice compassion and fairness. Empathy builds loyalty, while fairness ensures respect. A leader who shows genuine concern for personal circumstances, but still holds those high standards, quickly earns the trust of their team. As entrepreneur Richard Branson famously said, "If you look after your staff, they will look after your customers." Now, this quote highlights the direct connection between empathetic leadership and overall organizational success. One simple way to show compassion is through active listening. Ask clarifying questions to your team, paraphrase what you've heard, and validate people's experiences. This approach actually lets team members know that they're being taken seriously and encourages them to share more openly. At the same time, fairness is demonstrated by having clear, consistent policies that treat everyone equally, leaving no room for favoritism. When your team sees that you're applying the same standards to every individual, they feel safe and respected, which boosts morale and productivity. Now, striking the right balance between empathy and accountability really is tough, but it is key. It means that you're not ignoring issues or lowering those expectations. We do not want to do that. Rather, you're addressing challenges while still showing that you actually value your team. Compassion without fairness can lead to chaos. By combining these two in the right combination, you really take your leadership style to the next level, and you establish a workplace environment that motivates people to give their best and remain committed to your shared. So habit number 6 is lead by example and do what you say. Nothing undermines credibility faster than failing to follow your own rules. Doesn't it frustrate you when you have to remind your team about something that you've already told them before multiple different times? Often the root cause is a disconnect between what you demand and what you demonstrate. If you've asked your team to be punctual, never arrive late yourself. This simple practice speaks volumes and reinforces the importance of timeliness. Similarly, if you set high quality standards to every deliverable, make sure that your own work meets or exceeds those exact same expectations. Your actions become a benchmark for others to measure themselves against. When they see your consistency, they're far more likely to adapt and adopt those standards as their own and adhere to them without consistent reminders. On the other hand, if you're caught cutting corners, it gives everyone else permission to do the same. People naturally look to their leaders to set the tone, and your behavior creates either an environment of excellence or one of excuses. By holding yourself accountable to these exact rules and guidelines you've put in place, you create a culture where trust flourishes and reminders become basically unnecessary. The simplest way to inspire your team to deliver their best is to show them how it's done. Providing constructive feedback and positive reinforcement is habit number 7. Feedback is really crucial for growth because people need to know where they stand, both on the good side and the bad. As we've talked about before, it is frustrating when you need to consistently remind someone about a task or behavior that's already been addressed. Without that clear, consistent feedback, it's so easy for the same issue to just pop up over and over. And tell you what, this can lead to a lot of frustration, both with the leader yourself as well as the employee or who you're working with. As we've talked about before, it is frustrating when you need to consistently remind someone about a task or behavior that's already been addressed. One of the best ways to avoid that repetition is by framing feedback around opportunities for improvement, rather than that personal attack. Now, this approach helps your team feel supported and guided instead of just criticized or singled out. In addition, celebrating wins publicly shows that you've noticed and valued their positive efforts. It acknowledges individuals who embody the company's values, boosts morale, and encourages others to strive for similar success. Personally, I believe in the concept of praising in public and then coaching in private. At SWYFT Solutions, we actually have a group chat that I consistently am posting in ways that I've observed the team showing up and displaying our core values. This public, simple gesture not only reinforces that person's exceptional work, but it also serves as a powerful reminder to others that are watching that outstanding contributions are noticed and appreciated. Cultivating a culture of open communication, clear expectation, and recognition for a job well done helps everyone grow together, significantly reducing the need for endless reminders. Ultimately, when people feel seen, heard, and motivated, they are far more likely to consistently deliver their best. Consistent, constructive feedback transforms a stagnant workplace into a culture of continual growth and high performance. Make feedback an ongoing priority for your leadership style. All right, so now habit number 8 is my personal favorite, and I believe it's the most important of them all. Continually raising your own standards. Your team will only grow as far as you're willing to grow. And if they don't see you stretching yourself, they'll actually become complacent because you are. One of the most powerful ways to avoid stagnation is by setting yearly personal development goals for yourself. Whether that's mastering a new skill, seeking leadership coaching, or striving for a professional certification. Some other ideas are maybe working in a mastermind or joining in with mentors who can really push you beyond your comfort zone. Really, when you have a clear vision of growth for yourself and you back it up with a compelling personal story of day after day, month after month, year after year of how you've shown up and consistency, it inspires others to step up and want to be led by you. I really try and make it a point to invest in coaching sessions, read leadership books, and attend conferences myself, really because I want to stay ahead of the curve. By exposing myself to new ideas and experiences, I'm not only expanding my skill set, but I'm also keeping my leadership style fresh and relevant. In doing so, I show my team that I'm serious about growth and I genuinely am committed to excellence. It is essential to intentionally look for people who can help you become the leader that your team needs. You really need to do it for them, because when they see your commitment, they will mirror that energy and dedication. Over time, this creates a culture where everyone strives for higher standards. Continual self-improvement is not a luxury, it's a leadership obligation. So habit number 9 is encouraging ownership and autonomy. Encouraging ownership and autonomy is an essential skill as a leader because you want to make sure that you're empowering your team to make decisions and create a sense of ownership well beyond the conversation that you had about a specific task. When people are trusted to use their judgment, they become more invested in the outcomes, and they tend to perform at a little bit higher of a level. Maybe you've seen it. To put this principle into action, maybe assign projects where your team members define the how as well as the why. Instead of prescribing every single detail, let them explore innovative methods to achieve the goal. You're not only building confidence within that individual, but you're fostering creative problem-solving skills. Another key tactic here is to give your team the resources and authority to address the challenges without consistent oversight. They don't need to be micromanaged. So you need to help them develop skills for decision-making and leadership. Over time, you'll notice greater efficiency and more engagement. When individuals see their ideas and insights are genuinely valued, they become more committed to the organization's success. Ultimately, empowering your team paves the way for new perspectives, reduced bottlenecks, and a culture that rewards innovation and accountability. Moreover, encouraging personal responsibility really fosters mutual respect and cultivates future leaders who can drive long-term success and innovation amongst the team. we really need to embrace this approach. Now, the 10th and final habit is about maintaining accountability structure for yourself and your team. So accountability ensures that goals are met, standards remain high, and leaders don't slip into that unproductive habit that maybe they once had. One effective method is using written checklists to keep personal tasks organized. Now, if you require a little extra support in this area, consider designating an executive assistant or an accountability partner for yourself. This will really help you stay on track. Setting up regular one-on-one meetings or team check-ins also fosters a culture where progress is reviewed, feedback is shared, and everyone remains aligned on the priorities. Personally, having an assistant at SWYFT Solutions has been invaluable for me. Their help with reviewing my to-do lists and scheduling assures that I don't overlook important tasks or deadlines. This really frees me up to focus on what truly matters. Now, by establishing these clear systems, you create an environment where each individual understands their responsibilities, meets their objectives, and respects the organization's expectations. When accountability is woven into the fabric of your leadership style, you really lay the groundwork for sustainable success and create a motivated team that consistently delivers results. So now that you've seen all 10 habits, it's time to put them into action. Each habit, from leading yourself first to maintaining accountability structures, offers a powerful way to elevate your leadership and inspire others. The key is to stay consistent and committed, even when it feels challenging. Your team looks to you for guidance, and by embracing these habits, you'll create an environment where growth, respect, and high performance thrives. Keep raising your standards, showing up on time, communicating the vision clearly, and growing other leaders around you. Now, show empathy, fairness, and back up your words with action, and celebrate wins while offering constructive feedback. When you do, you'll see your influence grow and your team achieve their goals. And there is nothing better than helping someone else achieve their dreams. If you found value in this video, please like and subscribe, maybe even share it with someone who could benefit from the insights. Thank you so much for joining along in this journey. Keep striving to become the best leader that you can be, and watch how your team transforms as a result.